Metal groans as a fist slams into a face. A scrawny boy crashes against a dumpster, eyes snapping open. Before the next blow lands, slender fingers wrap around the attacker's knuckles and arrest them mid-swing.
The wimp's still twitching? Hold him down, guys. Today he learns respect.
This body, it is sticky with blood, light as a reed. Not mine. 4 of you, and still you're scared. Pathetic.
A sudden pivot, the boy's heel smashes a knee backward, his palm already driving into a second throat.
You throw your weight like amateurs. Let me show you how a fist really feels.
The bodies hit the gravel within 3 breaths. No jutsu, just geometry, momentum, and killing intent older than the bones wielding it.
The technique is mine, but these hands, they belong to a dead boy, and I don't even know his name.
A few minutes later, the body finds a cramped dormitory room. It collapses onto the tatami, gasping. Above the wash basin, a cracked mirror catches the stranger's face, pale, slim, with a bruise flowering on one cheek.
This face, it isn't mine. The Fist King's body was thick with scar tissue and muscle. This is a child's shell.
Behind his closed eyelids, a memory detonates. The harsh circle of the underground ring, 38 years of sinew and victory. Then the back room, a water bottle, a smiling man in a leather chair, fingertips still dusted with powder.
The manager. That snake poisoned me for a betting payout. He watched me choke.
In the flash of dying, he saw the man's grin widen, the same grin that had once promised him championship glory.
I'll find you. Even if I have to crawl through hell again, I'll crush your throat with my own hands.
The boy's fingers curl into trembling fists. The bones are untested, but the will inside them is wrought iron.
This body is weak, but it's young. I can break it down and rebuild. The Fist King will rise.
By morning, the academy halls buzzed with one story. The scrawniest boy in the junior division had left 4 older students crumpled in an alley. Hayato walked into the classroom and every head turned. He ignored the stares and slumped into a desk near the back.
Rough seat? Don't worry, I won't bite. I'm Kaito. You're the one who taught Takeshi some manners, right?
He used Daichi. That is this body's name. He knows the original. Be careful. Something like that.
No need to play tough. I've been here 2 years and I've never seen anyone fight like that. How about I show you around after class?
An ally who knows this world could be useful. Watch him, but let him think he's won my trust. Fine. Lead the way.
They left the classroom together, Kaito already launching into a steady stream of gossip about instructors and training schedules.
He knows too much, too fast. But for now, a guide is what I need. I'll rebuild from inside this cage.
Before the first bell, Hayato slipped past the dormitory guards and scaled the back fence into the wooded hills beyond the academy. He stopped in a small clearing, rolled up his sleeves and faced a thick oak trunk with the focus of a lifelong killer.
The skin will tear before the bark does. Good, let it. I need to remember what real pain feels like.
Punch after punch rained into the wood. The muscles screamed, but the rhythm never faltered, a metronome of violence. 50 meters away, hidden behind a broad cedar, Kaito watched with a stillness that didn't belong to a casual classmate.
Daichi never had discipline like that. Whoever you are, you already know how to break a man. Interesting.
Hayato paused, chest heaving, knuckles dripping red. He stared at his wrecked hands and allowed himself a grim smile.
Not bad for day 1, the muscle memory is there. This shell will crack and reshape, I'll make sure of it.
The figure behind the cedar slipped away as silently as it had arrived, carrying a secret only the woods had witnessed.
Tomorrow I double the reps. By the end of the week, my bones will start remembering what victory feels like.
That afternoon, Takeshi and 3 others crowded into a supply alley, their bruises still bright against snarling faces.
That rat Daichi blindsided us. Next time we bring clubs. We'll break his legs before he can blink.
One produced a wooden sword. Another showed a coil of rope. They agreed on the back gate after dark. Around the corner, pressed against the cold brick, Kaito listened without breathing.
So Takeshi wants to ambush him tonight. This could ruin things. I need to warn Daiichi for now.
Later, in a deserted corridor, Hayato was reviewing his conditioning routine when a familiar voice called out,
Hayato, I just heard something ugly. Takeshi's planning to attack you tonight near the back gate, and they'll be armed.
Armed? He sounds genuinely worried. But how did he know so fast? Thanks for the warning. I'll be careful.
Hayato turned away, jaw set. He wouldn't wait for them to strike. He'd be ready. Night fell hard. Near the back gate, 4 shadows peeled from the wall and surrounded Hayato in a tight ring.
You're dead, Daichi! No lucky punches this time!
4 against 1 with weapons. Pathetic. They still don't understand distance.
A club swung for his skull. Hayato stepped into it, jammed the elbow, and drove a palm through the attacker's sternum. The rope wielder's knee bent wrong way under a precise kick. The third bully's wooden sword never left his grip before his wrist cracked. In seconds, 3 bodies lay groaning. Hayato's fist hovered over Takeshi's trembling face.
Run, and remember what my fist tastes like.
Footsteps pounded away into the dark. Then a new voice panted from the gate. Too late.
Hayato, I came as fast as I could. Are you okay? They didn't hurt you, did they?
Interesting. He arrives the moment the fight ends.
Before Hayato could voice his suspicion, a heavy step sounded at the alley entrance. Instructor Takeda emerged from the shadows, face unreadable.
What is the meaning of this? 4 students armed with weapons, and you standing over them like a prize fighter. Explain.
They attacked me. I defended myself. Nothing more.
Takeda's gaze swept the groaning bodies, the discarded weapons. He had seen the scuffle from a distance. This was no ordinary brawl.
Self-defense doesn't leave 4 trained genin with broken bones and not a scratch on you. Where did you learn to fight like that?
The woods every morning. I punch trees until my knuckles bleed. That's all.
Takeda stared at the wrapped fists, the fresh blood seeping through. He had never seen a student condition themselves so brutally.
Be that as it may, Academy rules are clear. You are suspended pending investigation. Hand in your student badge.
Hayato unpinned the badge without a word and walked past him, out of the alley, leaving Kaito and the instructor in heavy silence.
They want to break me? They can try. I've survived worse cages than this academy.
The dormitory room felt smaller after the suspension. Hayato sat staring at the wall until a soft knock broke the silence.
Hayato, I brought supper. You shouldn't be alone right now.
You didn't have to, but thanks.
Kaito unpacked the simple meal, and they ate in the dim light. He spoke of the academy, his own early days, his voice steady and warm.
I've been on my own since I was 8. No family, no sponsor. I know what it's like to have nobody.
An orphan, just like the boy this body belonged to. Maybe that's why he understands. Then you know why I can't stop fighting. I have to get stronger, for what was taken from me.
Kaito nodded, a flicker of something unreadable crossing his face before settling back into a gentle smile.
Then I'll help you. Whatever it takes. You're not alone anymore, Hayato.
He's the first real ally I've had in this life. For now, that's enough.
3 days before the test, Hayato pushed his body past every limit. Knuckle push-ups until his arms shook and fists bled onto the wood.
Faster. The muscle memory fuses with this frame. I might actually be ready.
Hayato, why not spar with me? I can take a hit.
Spar with Kaito? If I lose control, I could break him. And if he's hiding something, not yet. I train alone. I can't risk injuring a friend.
Kaito's smile flickered, but he recovered and shrugged it off.
Careful. Fine. When he's on his knees, I want to see that pride shatter.
He turned back to the tree, fists pounding a rhythm that drowned out everything.
My bones remember. In that ring, I'll show them what the Fist King means.
But a splinter of doubt remained, an itch about the boy who smiled too easily. The Academy's outdoor combat circle fell silent as Hayato stepped into the sand, his unwrapped hands hanging loose at his sides.
3 days of conditioning. Let's see if this body remembers.
His first opponent lunged with a wooden blade. Hayato slipped inside the arc and drove a short punch into the ribs, one strike, one body crumpling. The second student charged. A low kick snapped the knee, an elbow met the temple. Down. Instructor Takeda's voice boomed, "Enough formalities. 3 against 1.
3? This is a gift.
They encircled him. Hayato moved like a current duck, pivot, palm strike to throat, spinning back fist to jaw, knee to liver. 3 bodies hit the ground before the dust rose. The crowd erupted, half in wild applause, half in stunned silence. But in the stands, a cluster of older students muttered, "No chakra. That's impossible. He must be using forbidden techniques."
Of course. They can't accept it. The questions are only beginning.
The crowd parted. Takeshi and a dozen upperclassmen blocked Hayato's path, voices sharp as broken glass.
He's been breaking bones with bare hands. Only forbidden chakra strengthening can do that. Expel him.
They mistake precision for sorcery. I could explain, they'd never listen.
I've been with him every morning. He punches trees until his hands bleed. That's not jutsu. That's sacrifice.
Silence. The Academy will investigate thoroughly. Until then, no one acts.
An investigation. They'll pick at my past, find nothing, and still call me a liar.
The students retreated, leaving Hayato and Kaito in a cold circle of empty benches.
Don't worry. I'll stand with you. Whatever they throw, we face it together.
He's the only one left. Without him, they'd have swallowed me whole.
By nightfall, the Academy posted a formal inquiry notice. The cage was tightening. Later, on the Academy rooftop, Hayato stared at the stars while Kaito leaned against the railing.
An investigation. They'll pick at Daichi's past, find nothing, and still call me a liar.
You're overthinking. Someone's behind this, setting you up. They want to crush you like they did to an old fighter I heard about.
Hayato's breath caught. The manager's last words slithered through memory. The Fist King will be erased.
Erased. Only one man ever used that word for me, the man who poisoned my water.
Hayato, you look pale. What's wrong?
Nothing. Just a bad memory. Forget it. It can't be him. Kaito's just a kid. I'm seeing ghosts in every shadow.
Whatever it is, don't face it alone. I'll be here.
He's the only ally I have. I'll trust him for now. But that word will stay with me.
That night, Hayato tossed on his thin futon as sleep clawed him under. The dream dragged him into the reeking locker room of his last championship fight. His older body slumped on the bench, knuckles swollen, chest heaving. The door swung open. In his sleep, Hayato's fists clenched the sheets, a muffled groan escaping his throat. The manager entered, water bottle in hand, smile curdling into a sneer. "Drink up, champ!" The poison hit, throat seizing, vision darkening. The manager leaned close, his final words a frozen needle. The Fist King will be erased. He jolted awake, drenched in cold sweat, a hand pressed against his racing heart.
That bastard. I know you're still out there. But where? In what form? Could he have followed me into this life? I can't let my guard down. Not even with Kaito. The Fist King will rise and find the truth.
The next morning, a cold chamber awaited. Hayato faced a panel of grim instructors, Kaito standing quietly by his side.
Student Daichi, you have shown remarkable taijutsu. Explain how you developed such skill without detectable chakra.
I've trained in the woods daily. No secret jutsu, only fists and will.
Kaito stepped forward, voice earnest, as he recounted Hayato's dawn training with dramatic flair.
Every morning he bleeds on those trees. I've never seen discipline like it. He's no cheater.
One instructor muttered something about rule breaking, and Kaito laughed, a short, sharp sound that snagged Hayato's attention.
That laugh. It's the same curl of the lip. The same cold edge I saw in the locker room. It's him.
Hayato's fingers dug into his palms. He locked his knees before they could buckle, forcing his face still.
No proof. I can't accuse him here. I must endure until I can expose him.
You held up well. Don't worry, I think they believe us.
Hayato managed a nod, but behind his eyes a new fire smoldered. The hunt had begun. Later that evening, Kaito found Hayato behind the dormitory block, his voice low and urgent.
The investigation will drag on, but there's a faster way to prove you fought clean. The Academy Records Room.
He's steering me somewhere. But if there's anything in those files about him, this could be my chance.
I know a way in. If we find evidence of your training, they'll have to drop the suspension. Trust me.
Trust? After what I saw? But I'll play along. Let him think he's leading.
They gathered a small flashlight and a map Kaito had drawn, then slipped silently toward the Academy's darkened side gate. The moon hid behind clouds as they reached the Academy. The building loomed silent, a black mass against the night. Kaito pried open a rusted maintenance door and they crept into a long, pitch-black corridor.
This is it. Whatever lies in those files, I'll find the truth.
The archive room door stood ajar. Inside, dusty shelves waited, holding secrets neither had yet uncovered. They slipped inside, the room thick with dust and shadows. Hayato moved to a far shelf while Kaito lingered near the door. His hand fell on a file stamped with a faded emblem, the mark of the Outer Territories banned leagues. Inside, a document caught the light, a personnel dossier, and clipped to it a photograph.
That face, younger, but the same cruel eyes. The manager, here, in this world.
A low chuckle curled from the darkness. Kaito stepped into the flashlight's beam, his usual smile gone.
Found something interesting, partner. Or should I say, Fist King?
The air froze. Kaito's voice dripped with the same contempt that had poisoned his water.
You're the one who killed me, and you've been waiting for this.
Kaito's mask vaporized. The manager's cold smirk settled onto his young face as if it had always belonged. Hayato's fist cocked back, but the door crashed open. Armed guards swarmed in, shouting, "Intruders, freeze!" Hayato's fist froze an inch from Kaito's jaw. 4 guards thrust between them, batons raised.
Please. He forced me here. He said he'd kill me if I didn't help. He's insane.
The snake. He'd planned this from the beginning. Every smile, every warning, all leading to this.
2 guards seized Hayato's arms, twisting them behind his back. Kaito staggered away, clutching his chest as if struck.
You lying coward. Show them the photo. Look at the file. He's the real criminal.
But the guards' faces stayed blank. They'd heard only Kaito's frantic pleas.
No one will believe a dead king rot in this pit just like before.
I'll break out of any cage. I'll hunt you down, Kaito. The Fist King never forgets.
The cell door slammed shut, swallowing his roar. In the cold dark, his bloody fists met stone, and a low growl seeped through the bars. The cell's dark walls pressed close, but the cold eventually slowed his pulse and sharpened his hearing. He folded his legs, rested his bloody knuckles on his knees, and let every betrayal drain into the silence.
Breathe in the kill, breathe out the fear. The old master's voice still echoes in my bones.
Memories of the championship ring bled into silence. He rose and began shadow boxing in the cramped space. Each strike grew faster, digging muscle memory from his former life until his knuckles ached anew. The stone walls seemed to recoil. A searing heat coiled around his fists, the killing intent of a dead king.
My heart stopped once. Been dead before. There's nothing left to fear.
A grin cut through the gloom. The cell had hatched a monster ready to face whatever trial awaited. As if answering his rebirth, heavy boots echoed down the stone corridor, guards coming with a summons. The door groaned open. Your final combat trial is set. The entire academy will witness. Guards marched Hayato through the arched tunnel into blinding daylight. The arena roared before he saw it. The combat circle sprawled under a blood-red sunset. Every bench was packed with silent students and stone-faced instructors.
By Academy law, your final judgment is combat. You face a single opponent. Winning clears your name.
A single opponent? If it's Kaito, this cage just gave me a stage.
From the opposite gate, Kaito stepped into the light, uniform crisp, the same gentle smile painted on his face.
I volunteered, old friend. I want to watch the light leave your eyes a second time.
2 lives, and he still underestimates me. That arrogance poisoned me before. It'll bury him now. No more masks. I've been waiting to crack these knuckles against your lying throat.
Takeda's hand fell. The chains were struck from Hayato's wrists. 2 bodies began circling in the dying light. The crowd held its breath. The first strike would decide more than the match. It would judge a dead king's vengeance. Kaito struck first, a fireball roaring from his palm, the heat warping the air between them. Hayato swayed 2 inches left, the flame kissing nothing. Not a single wasted motion.
Chakra-enhanced speed makes him predictable. His arrogance is the same. I've read this rhythm before.
Stay still.
Hayato shut his eyes and tracked the scuff of Kaito's shoes across the sand. Blind but certain.
You call this a fight? You haven't changed, manager. Still hiding behind tricks.
A silver flash cut the smoke. Kaito lunged with a hidden blade aimed at Hayato's throat.
A blade. Just like the poison. You've never had the guts to fight me straight.
Hayato slipped inside the knife's arc, his fist erupting upward through Kaito's guard with a sickening crack. Kaito hit the sand, the blade skittering away. The dead king stood over him, knuckles dripping red. The crowd sat frozen as Hayato reached into his torn uniform and pulled out a crumpled photograph.
This man poisoned me in my last life. Now he hides in a teenager's body, calling himself Kaito.
Lies. That photo means nothing. He's delusional from the fight.
Let me see that.
Takeda held the picture beside Kaito's face, even with a younger jaw and softer skin. The sharp, cruel eyes were unmistakable. Murmurs erupted into shouts. 2 guards seized Kaito's arms as he thrashed wildly.
You can't do this. I'll be back. I've survived worse than your fists.
You won't. This is the last ring you'll ever disgrace.
The fight is ruled lawful. Student Daichi is cleared of all charges.
The arena erupted, but Hayato heard only the echo of a cell door slamming shut on his old enemy. The crowd streamed onto the sand, chanting Daichi's name. Hayato stood still, feeling the weight of the life he'd inherited.
The Fist King died in a back room, but a part of him woke up in this skinny boy. Now we're the same, unbroken.
He lifted one fist and cracked his knuckles, a sound that had once ended 48 underground bouts.
This academy thought I was a victim. They don't know they just unleashed their greatest fighter.
Instructor Takeda handed him a new student badge, the name Daichi freshly stamped. Hayato pinned it on without ceremony.
Daichi deserved better than a broken body. I'll make sure his name means something.
He turned toward the main gate, shoulders squared, while the sunset painted the academy in shades of gold and deep shadow. In the corner of his vision, a red window flickered into existence, bold letters burning against the dusk. Prior life, Fist King style intact. The grin widened, the dead king reborn, walking into a world that had just learned his name.